now that we have finalized our TurboRails clone, it would be really nice to be able to test it in a real Rails application. So this is what we're going to do in this video. So if I have a look here at the directories that I have in my recording directory, we can see that I have the TurboClone source code that we wrote together in the previous videos. And we are also going to create a brand new Rails application that we're going to call TurboTest. And we are going to skip Hotwire here because we don't want to use the official TurboRails library, but instead we want to use our TurboClone gem that we created together. So let's go in the TurboTest Rails application, and what we're going to do here is that we're going to commit. That way it will be easier later to see the changes that we're going to make. So let's write this initial commit and open the source code. And within the source code, we're going to go in the gem file, and we are going to add our TurboClone gem. And to add it here, we're going to specify the path like this. And now when we run bundle install here, we can see that we are using the TurboClone gem that is located at this relative path from our Rails application here. So we are now able to launch our rake task that we created in the previous videos. We're going to say Rails TurboClone install here, and as we can see, we can find the different steps that we created for the rake task. So the first two steps here are for the JavaScript dependencies, and we import turbo in app JavaScript application.js, and we can actually check that it is the case here. Then we run the import map pin hotwire TurboRails command in order to pin the JavaScript dependency. And then we enable Redis in the bundle. So if we go back to our gem file and have a look at Redis, we can see here that the Redis line was uncommented. Then bundle install is run, and at the end we can see that config.cable changed. So we can go here and we can see that the Redis adapter is now used in development. So that's exactly what we wanted for the installation with the rake task. And now we're going to test that everything works as expected. So to do this, we are going to actually rebuild our dummy application. So let's go ahead and create a model named article with a content and run the migration. And of course, instead of retyping everything manually, we are going to basically copy everything from the test dummy application. So let's first have a look at the routes here. So what we want here is to, well, we can do this manually actually, because we just want resources, articles here. Then for the model, we're going to write to copy the model from the TurboClone test dummy application. So we're going to write this command here to copy it in app models article.rb, and we're asked if we want to override the model that we just created, and I'm just going to say yes here. And that way, if we go to our article model, we can see that we have the same article model than the one that we have in the test dummy application. Now what we want to do is to actually copy the controller. So we're going to do exactly the same thing, TurboClone test dummy app controller articles controller, and we're going to copy it into app controllers articles controller.rb. So we can just check that it worked in the articles controller and everything worked as expected. And now we have to copy the views. So to do this, we're going to use copy-r for recursively, and we're going to say that we're going to find the views in our TurboClone test dummy app views articles, and we're going to copy this in app views here. So now we're going to launch the Rails server. And if we go at localhost articles, we are actually going to see that the page is displayed as expected. So we can first test that turbo frames work as expected. So we're going to create a first article here, then a second article, a third article, and yeah, that should be it. We can click on multiple edit buttons to make sure that the state of the page is unchanged and actually only the turbo frames are replaced when we want them to be replaced. So I can save this article as well, delete it, and see that everything works as expected in a real Rails application. And we can also test the turbo streams. So to do this, we're going to go inside a Rails console and we're going to create a new article with the content of something here. And when I'm going to save this article, I expect it to be prepended to the list of articles. So let's do this. And as we can see, the job is performed, the view is rendered, and it's exactly the same view as we had in the test dummy, and the articles is prepended as expected. So we can perform another experiment. Now we can update our article and we're going to change the content to something else. And as we can see, it was successfully updated. And the last thing that we can do is actually destroy the article and to make sure that it was removed from the view.